All right, troops, welcome to the Actually. My name is Owen. I have shaved my beard and it's very upsetting to see me on camera without it, but we'll try and get past it. And tonight we're going to be talking about Day Shift, starring Jamie Foxx and Scott Adkins, as well as Snoop Dogg and Dave Franco. So tonight I am joined by Charlie. All right.
Me? What's happening?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome, man. It's Friday night and I got to watch a badass movie.
Hell yeah. So it's just going to be the two of us tonight, which is, I believe, a first, and hopefully the
I
first
think
of
I think
many.
so.
Yeah. So I've
Good.
been looking forward to this. So before we start talking about the movie, though, I was saying to Charlie before we came online that I was reading on Joe Blow there about how Thomas Jane had been talking about how there was nearly a Punisher 2. And initially, there were talks with Rob Zombie to write and direct, and I thought, well, he could have made it certainly messed up. But
Yeah.
the other person was Walter Hill. Walter
No.
Hill nearly directed. Right. Wait till you hear. See this quote. I'm just going to read it out.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So Thomas Jane and Hill met and fell in love with each other and went to the studio. Walter Hill said, "I'll write it and direct it, and that'll be that." They ended up saying no to Walter Hill for reasons that are beyond my ability to comprehend. That's when I said, if you're not going to make the perfect Punisher film with the perfect guy, then who else you got? They floated another director who hadn't really done anything in that ballpark, so that's when I had to pull out. I had to say, listen, I'm not sure if you guys really understand what it is you're doing. Therefore, the chances of fucking this up are pretty high. So
Yeah.
you had Walter Hill ready to write and direct a Punisher movie. I mean, that was the most perfect director you could have had, and they screwed it up.
It would have had the perfect blend of violence, comedy, everything. It would have been perfect. I mean, and I liked the other Punisher Warzone. I mean, it was enjoyable, but this is one thing that's really difficult when we're our generation is. I grew up reading comics, and some of my favorite ones were like one shots, or when they took a story totally different. You know, like when we got Punisher Max and all these other things. Like you kept the original going, but then you gave me something else I liked that I got to follow the character on, and that's way I treat these movies sometimes. Is the Thomas Jane would have been fine, and you could have done Predator. We were just talking about this. Predator versus Punisher. Yes.
I would watch.
Hell yeah. But I mean, I could have watched that character doing Punisher and still give me other Punisher movies. Why can't we have multiples of something? I don't understand that. But Walter Hill, come on, man.
I mean, that was I don't understand the thinking of some people. Also, like we're getting a multiverse of Spider-Man movies. Why? What about all the Punishers? Where's our multiverse? Punisherverse. Bring them all in together. That would be awesome.
I'd totally be fine with that. But damn, I don't know, man. You just did the Extreme Justice Blu-ray review, didn't you, on that for Walter Hill, wasn't it?
Oh, Extreme Prejudice. Yeah.
The Extreme Prejudice. That's what.
Yeah. I did. I just got that a few weeks ago, the Vestron one, and it was amazing. Hey,
I picked that up when I saw it.
Yeah. Did you see the hour-long interview with him on it?
I haven't watched any of the special features yet.
There's an hour-long interview with Walter Hill on it, and he's just talking about like working with Powers Booth and all the cast and everything, and interview with Michael Ironside, and saying that it was basically Walter Hill that got him into movies because he did Canadian movies beforehand, and then this was his first sort of big Hollywood picture, and Walter Hill was incredibly supportive of him.
Heck yeah.
And I was like, that's another reason why Walter Hill's awesome. But and he talks about comic book movies and everything, and he made this great point which I'd never thought about, and he said whenever you watch these movies, there's no director's signature to it. The Marvel movies particularly, he said, where they're all just the Marvel movies. There's no you're not like, oh, what an amazing director or whatever, and you watch this, you're just like, yeah, it's a fun comic book movie, but there's no real sort of cinematic thing to it. Which
the most we've gotten is like when Sam Raimi did the latest Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
then you got his signature in it, and you go, I'm watching a Sam Raimi movie all of a sudden. Yeah,
and then you can say that just to play devil's advocate, you could also say that Ragnarok was Taika Waititi as well, and I haven't seen Love and Thunder yet, but
I haven't either.
Those two, but the rest of them generally, there's no sort of director's signature to it or whatever. But Raimi definitely. J-Man, have you watched Day Shift, by the way? So I just see you because you're welcome to come in and join us if you've seen it and just want to chat.
Yeah.
So I just asked Charlie the last minute. So anyway, I would have watched that Walter Hill directing a Punisher movie.
I would have been all for it. I mean, I love the Dirty Laundry YouTube video that got put out afterwards. That was perfect. I mean, it's like why they didn't just go, yeah, we need to do another Thomas Jane Punisher. I would have been 100% behind it. I still watch that video from time to time. I'm just like, I really want something brutal and awesome, but not a full length movie. Dirty Laundry. I'll watch it.
Yeah, and you're just watching it and you're like, damn, I really like Thomas Jane as the Punisher as well. He was really good. So okay,
he hasn't seen it. Thank you for your permission, J-Man.
Then we will continue. Thank you, sir. And if you don't mind, J-Man, we are going to be stealing your space tonight and using that to review the movie because of my repulsive eye, which has left me scarred and deformed until I get surgery on it at some point, which is why I've shaved my beard, FYI. I can't really read much and writing I just really can't be bothered doing, so I thought, you know what, let's do it different, do a live stream, we'll talk about the movie and we'll still kind of rate it. So I say we'll get started on Day Shift right now then. Yeah,
sounds like a plan.
Alrighty, so story, should I read out the synopsis? I guess
sure, why not?
Okay, right, hold on, I gotta find the synopsis. Please hold, Colin.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
Day Shift. Yeah. A hard-working dad out to provide for his daughter uses a boring pool cleaning job as a front for his real gig, hunting and killing vampires. So there we go. And the film is directed by J.J. Perry, who is, master behind like stunts and choreography and things. So
right,
you kind of knew that it was going to be something awesome, and you know what? It was.
And I think this is his directorial debut, isn't it?
Yeah,
this is the first one he's gotten direct.
Yeah. So in terms of story, for me, it's nothing especially new. I mean, you've seen it a lot of times before, but it does the job, and it's really just an excuse for some awesome action scenes. And I don't know, it kind of just worked for me. What were your thoughts on
it? I was with watching this. I just kept being reminded of stories that we've known. Dad that wants to, support his daughter, estranged marriage. We get an instant like buddy cop feel as it starts going through. He's a down on his luck vampire hunter, which I got to give him some, points for that. I'm like, I kind of like that concept. And I don't know where, I guess we should put that in the story is I kept thinking back to Vampires, John Carpenter's Vampires, where they were paid by the church. That's how they were funded and financed. They didn't have to worry about money. Now you got the reverse side of that of these are just subcontractors like myself.
And you have to be with a union.
You got to be with a union, or you can just go out and do it yourself without any support system. You get less money, you get less benefits. And I kind of dug that. I connected a little bit with it. But I as far as I don't know if you gave your score, but I think I'm going to give the story like 1.5 on this. Yeah.
I'm actually going to go 1. Just
I don't blame you.
Familiar, but one thing I love, which is one of my favorite aspects of the film, was I love the fact that the vampire's teeth are worth money, and that's how you make the money is by taking
that was amazing.
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool idea. So okay, that's maybe the ups it to 1.5.
But I mean, there was some unique things that you knew what you were going to get, but you didn't. That was the weird thing with this movie. It was like, I knew what I wanted from it, and then I got what I got. And I was just spoiler alert. I loved this movie. Watching this, I audibly was shouting at the television. Owen messaged me, and I forget, it was early this afternoon. He's like, "Have you watched it?" And I was like, "I'm gonna watch it tonight." And he's, let's do the live stream. So I turned it on in my office, and my wife kept coming in, and she's like, "What movie are you watching?" And I'll tell her about this new movie, because she's like, "I can hear you outside," when all the awesome stuff starts happening at the end. So it's a good movie. So yeah.
I really enjoyed it, and although this comes under artistry, I particularly love the music, all the hip hop tunes, which was my shit growing up in the 90s, like California Love. I heard Gorilla Funk by Paris, which I still have on cassette in my hi-fi there. I still have a working cassette player because I refuse to leave the 80s and 90s.
There's one particular one on here that we can save it for artistry if you want. That as soon as I heard it, I lost my shit. So we can save that one for a little
save
bit.
that for artistry.
Yeah, we'll save that for artistry. There's
Yeah.
Benny. What's up, Benny? Yes. You can watch it though. He hasn't watched it yet.
Oh yeah, definitely worth a watch. It's better than The Grey Man. I'm sorry, it is. I didn't like The Grey Man, but
I watched like 15 minutes of it. I need to go back and try again. My wife started it and I didn't know.
I need to watch it again and give it a chance, because I remember watching it in the night. It was so hot in our apartment, and me and my brother were just angry. You're just watching it and you're angry.
Heat makes you mad, man. I understand.
Oh, it does. It's horrendous. So
as a large man, we get mad when we're hot.
And that's the thing. So I probably need to watch it again. And then, whenever we do our year in action stream at the end of the year, then I can reevaluate it then. But for now, I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It was just it was all right. It just kind of went on too long. It was all right.
Serviceable.
Yeah. So, and as J-Man says here, everyone like and subscribe. Yeah, like and subscribe, please.
Like and subscribe to J-Man stuff that he's got going
J-Man, because J-Man has got us all into this. I had no interest in streaming at all until J-Man said, "You got to start doing live streams, man." I was like, okay. So I did. So shout out to J-Man for that, and also follow, subscribe. Charlie, you got a YouTube channel, huh?
So. We just started it. We did a Prey live stream last week, so we've got our YouTube channel. We'll I'll get the links to everybody so we can get that up.
Yeah.
But we're all in the YouTubes now.
Oh, yeah. So. where you discuss Predator versus Beaver, which is a spin-off we definitely need to have.
We have a lot of cool concepts, and I'm loving the new. I know we're supposed to be talking about vampires, but this is too fun to talk about. In our group chat, we were all like loving the movie, and then we were like, now what happens if they go like other places in time? Because we said in the live stream, like Vietnam, stuff like that, but we all went to feudal Japan. Now the internet won't shut up about it. Like everyone decided now we have to fight samurais. And I'm like, I'm in. I'll do it.
That would be awesome, but I have an idea. I was going to save it for next week, but I'm excited.
We can save it.
I know I have to mention now because I'm excited.
It's your show.
Yeah. So, but I love the idea. It wouldn't be like a full feature, I don't think. But I want a one where the Predator wins at the end, because I'm fed up of seeing the humans win at the end, because I'm always cheering for the Predator. I want him to be the main character. I want it to be a silent film where it's only the Predator as the lead. There's no humans. And the Predator wakes up on an alien planet with none of his weapons, and it's just down to basics. And it's basically like a game planet where the Predator becomes the prey, basically. And there's like all these big aliens and shit like this. And he has to basically go through these various rounds of defeating these things, and then he gets an extra weapon, kind of like a video game kind of thing. And then he wins his way, and then he gets his plasma caster at the end for a big showdown with something else. Predator Arena. Boom. Yeah.
Oh, I'd watch that. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and it's something different. So that's what I watch. So I'll mention it again next week, because there might be people not watching just now, but I think that's a cool idea.
Heck yeah.
Predator Survival. I dig it. Hell yeah.
That's it, man.
Anyway, so we'll probably watch tomorrow night. Got to watch Lock and Key. Haven't watched Grey Man or Man from Toronto yet. You're not missing anything. Man from Toronto's pants. That's really not very good.
Yeah.
They also don't know how to pronounce Toronto correctly in the movie. It's Toronto. There's only one T.
I can't say that. I'd probably mess it up too.
So anyway, back to Day Shift. As usual, even with the two of us, we still go off on tangents.
I'm sorry, it's me.
That's all right. So pacing. So to me, it's well paced. I think Day Shift. I think it's it's an hour and 50 minutes, which normally I would be whining, but it's too long. But actually, there isn't any scenes that I would remove from it. I thought it was generally pretty tight. It connects all the characters together and everything, and I mean, there's cliche. This goes back to the story. There's some cliches like the ex-wife being kind of a pain in the ass, but then she comes around by the end. I mean, that's kind of the usual thing.
Yeah.
But pacing, I'm gonna go 1.5, because after the opening scene, it's a little slow for a bit, but generally I'm never bored with it. I think it moves along well enough, and there isn't anything that I could think of that I would cut. So yeah, I'll go 1.5. What about you?
I had the exact same thought when I saw the runtime. I was like, shit, man, is this going to just drag on? Or are we just going to get character after character after character after character and just be like, fuck, man, let's just get through the story? No, I love the pacing of this movie. I mean, everything that happens has to happen, from the pawn shop where you have to learn that he's on the lower end of bounty hunting for, vampires, that he gets, the lower price, to find out how he, that he's no longer part of the union because he got kicked out, getting into the union. You need all that set up inside, whenever he gets into the headquarters, talks to him, and you need all the setup of the vampires of why she's so pissed off this entire movie. So I think pacing was really well. I was never bored, and literally I got to the point where I was like, it's almost over, man. I was just like, it doesn't feel like 2 hours. Yeah.
Unlike The Grey Man, which did, which would work better. See, if The Grey Man was 90 minutes, I'd be like, this is a great movie. This is one of the best I've seen this year. But it just went on for that too long.
I think some movies can be improved on that just by shortening it up a little bit. But I'm with you. I'm going to go 1.5 on pacing.
Yeah,
I think it held my attention well, and the story kept getting, going along without like, oh, we got to go back and remind you of this, or we got, no, it just kept going forward, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and it doesn't get overly complicated. It generally goes quite straightforward, but it's really when the Nazarian brothers come in with Scott Adkins, and I think just things really kick off then, particularly that house scene, the assault on the nest, which is my favorite action scene of the film, but we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I thought that was it was well paced. So yeah, so we'll both go 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5 on that.
Hold on, here's Alex, but on our end, they just did the house with the Nazarian brothers. Yeah.
Speak of the devil. Yep, you're right at the point.
What kind of babbling bullshit is this? He has the Under Siege quote for everyone. So, artistry. Artistry, actually, I have gone with a 2. Because I thought it looks great. It's nice and bright and sunny. It's not darkly lit where you can't see anything that's going on. You see everything that's going on. The action scenes are great fight scenes, nice choreography, nice and violent.
Yes.
Some bloody kills. Like I said, Assault in the House with the Nazarian brothers was a highlight. Love the car chase where the little girl's on the iPad and he's like going all over the road and everything. That was really cool. Like I said, awesome hip hop tunes like California Love and Gorilla Funk by Paris, and a few others as well. There's one you were going to mention. So
Yep, I got one.
So I'm going to leave that with artistry 2 for me. That's my favorite aspect of the film was artistry. So over to you.
Yeah, I'm a 2 with artistry. From his Hawaiian shirt he wears almost throughout the end. All I kept remembering, was Running Man. Go ahead and puke. You'll never see it on this shirt. And I'm also going, I need more Hawaiian shirts in my wardrobe. I have a lot of black, but like you said, I loved how this was totally opposite what you expect in a vampire movie. It was bright. The sun is out. They hunt them during the day for the most part till we get to the end. And the design of the vampires, I really enjoyed how they made most of them do that whole body contortion thing. I was like, that's really cool, because
that was so well done. Yeah.
That old lady one, I was immediately like reminded of Legion with Paul Bettany when the old lady climbs up the ceiling. But then they turn it to 11, like she's flipping like Circus Soleil or whatever
That's
it is.
A proper fight scene. Yeah.
Yes. And I was like, and it's like they can just contort, and it doesn't matter. You have to kill them a certain way in this one too. That I was really impressed with was not just a stab in the heart. You literally have to like cut their head off, pull their teeth, destroy them, or set them on fire. They set up with, and we're learning that sunlight is not even the main way to kill them in this.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's amazing. And the song, for those that listen to my show, we do our body count, which is how violent a movie is. And I heard the gunshots from the music sample come through, and I went, holy shit, they're playing body count right before the big action sequence. And that's how I have a little sample of that with Arnold from Commando. We're like, did you leave anything for us? Just bodies. And it rolls into Ice Cube doing body count. And I was listening to that song and I had goosebumps. I was amped up. I was ready to destroy everything. And they did, which was awesome.
It is one of the best like action movie tunes ever. Like I remember at the end of Universal Soldier as well, in the end credits of that. And you're like, yeah, that had a great body count too. Ice-T was great with body count back in the day. I used to listen to that all the time. I'd forgotten about that one. But yeah, the songs were so perfectly chosen for this movie. It just worked really, really well.
Right. And it was never, I never felt like, oh yeah, it's got Snoop in it, of course they're going to do this. No, it fit the tone of this movie. I enjoyed the hell out of it. And we'll get into more on characters on the next part, but yeah, artistry, it was beautiful. And then when they do go fighting in the dark, it's not a dark ass movie.
You can still see it.
I can see it. They fight in an awesome looking tomb. There's a temple looking thing. And I believed it. I was just really going, I believe you guys are in California and you're fighting, vampires during the day. I love it. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I really enjoyed it.
And the fight choreography.
The choreography was fantastic. Like, I thought the action scenes were great in it.
My only thing, if I have any critique, and I don't even want to call it a critique, but Jesus Christ, do bodies just fly in this movie when they get hit, shot, anything? It's like that whole gag with the rope that, jerks them across the screen. Everyone, even Jamie Foxx, it happens to him in the movie. And I was like, I love the gag, guys, but do we really need everyone to do that in this movie?
Yeah, that's true. But I know, I just thought it's just kind of sort of everybody was just like super powerful, the vampires, whatever else. So there was that. I know it's just an excuse to smash things. So
I get it was the stunt guys movie. So I totally allow it, and I'm not dinging it for that at all. It's still a 2 on artistry for this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Franco did pee his pants for real for the sake.
Yeah, I think he probably did. Yeah. So on to characters, which I'm going to go 1.5 because I think all the characters are good. I think the female villain's not that interesting. I liked her, and I thought she was cool, but I just thought she could just, a bit more to do. I just thought she was maybe a little underused. I don't know, maybe that's just nitpicking, but love Snoop Dogg in it. It's just Snoop Dogg being Snoop Dogg, but nobody does Snoop Dogg better than him. And he's just great. I just love every second he's on screen. I thought Jamie Foxx was sympathetic and immediately likable. Also, I never know where you put this under. I suppose it goes under artistry, but I really love the script to this. I thought it was hilarious at some points.
Yes.
There was a scene where I was like literally in tears of laughter. And that is the scene when Jamie Foxx asks Dave Franco, what's the squirrel sound like? And he's like,
yes.
He starts doing the sound of the squirrel.
Like, you're not prepared for any of that. I mean, we're getting into the characters thing. The 1.5 on yours. Yeah. Me, I'm a 2. I couldn't find fault with any, just because of how much everyone else elevated even the lackluster. Like, I kind of wanted the lackey vampire to the girl to be a little bit more badass than he was.
Yeah, he didn't really have much to do.
And the girl just kept screaming to me that she was trying to copy the girl from crap. I don't even watch the television show, but I know her. She's another Latin actress that she was in Machete Kills. She was like the main villainess in that one.
No, Michelle Rodriguez, no?
Might have been. She does a sitcom show, not quite sitcom, where
Sofia Vergara?
That's it.
Oh, I love her.
I kept getting the vibe from her that's what she was trying to pull off on that. Yeah. But see you, J-Man. He's got to go. I see.
Okay. See you next week, J-Man, for Predator.
But I love how Jamie Foxx can be a serious actor. You can buy into the dramas he's done, with Ray and a lot of those movies. And then he can do a movie like this where he's just absolutely having fun.
Yeah.
And I buy it the entire time.
And it jumps off the screen. Like, the movie just has this sense of fun throughout where you're just along for the ride, and there's nothing too devastating or serious about it. It's just a fun time.
And getting it, like the whole the union, it was total buddy cop thing, because you had the chief pounding his fist like, we got to do that. I mean, and that guy, he was such a comic character in this. He was such a just, I couldn't really take him serious, but I loved his character. And then Dave Franco in this almost steals the movie.
Almost steals it. Yeah, he was
almost. He actually only does it because of one thing Snoop does in this movie. And but I was mad when they killed him at first. I was like, no.
Spoiler alert.
It's a vampire movie. He doesn't die. How about that? There you go.
We'll
we'll leave it at that. But I mean, but that's how much I cared about the character. I really enjoyed that that aspect of it. And the daughter loved her. She wasn't annoying at all in this movie. That can happen. No fault to children actors. I will always say that. It's not their fault.
It's not. No,
they're young and they're being directed. So it worked on all ends as far as me. And, Peter Stormare as the pawn shop guy, I anytime you put him in a movie, I'm a fan.
It can only be Peter Stormare, because that's just the kind of role he's made to play, is that kind of sort of sleazy role.
Sleazy, but you want to like him. That's it. It's like, you're a bad guy, but I want to like you so much.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing which I wanted to say about that, is that I would have liked to have seen more of the Nazarian brothers, like Scott Adkins and Steve Howe. They have this great sequence in the middle, which is the best scene of the movie, and I thought, give these guys a spin-off. Like I said, never mind the Grey Man spin-offs. These guys, I want a Nazarian brothers movie stat, please.
I really feel like that has to be happening because of how they set it up. They give us a tiny little bit of backstory about them, and then that amazing fight scene. Without that, the movie probably would have been a little bit more lackluster. I loved everything about that. Yeah. And I feel like they have to be the next chapter of this. Let Jamie Foxx go do another movie. Let's follow Scott Adkins and what's the other guy's name on there? Steve Howe.
Yeah.
And they filmed this while doing John Wick 4 at the same time. I was like, those guys just love to work, man. Yeah, Scott Adkins is the hardest working man in action right now, period.
Yeah, I like what Alex says here. Scott and Steve were funny without being silly, keeping it legit and cool. I was like, they were funny without turning into like a cartoon. Great martial arts from Scott as always. Yeah, I mean, he was phenomenal.
Except for spitting gum into each other's mouth.
I love that. So gross.
That part caught me off guard.
I don't have CG gum. That's one time I want CG in a movie.
I really was hoping it was. But I do love the payoff of the garlic gum. I was like, okay, you guys set up everything I like. I like how they reload off of each other. He's like, oh, there's my brother. I got a clip. I need that. And he comes over here. He's got they have a system. And it just worked. And they could have been assholes. They could have been dickheads.
I was expecting that for them to betray him or something at the end.
Yeah, I fully expected them to screw him over, which would have propelled him more into needing more money. No, they were cool with each other. They're like, oh, really? You want to split it? Let's do it. Totally loved it.
It's just made us fall with the characters more, and then you're like, okay, now I definitely need to see more of you guys in your own movie, because like just seeing the two of them, just with the banter, the brotherly banter, whatever, I just thought that would be great. Because Scott needs a new franchise, because Boyka is done with, but now he's still. Are they Russian in this again?
I couldn't tell. My guess is they're probably adjacent. That's probably
I don't think they want to be from there.
Yeah, I think that's the safe play. They might be like Bulgarian or something in this. I can't remember exactly.
From Valverde.
No, loved them. Valverde, man. Let's bring it back.
That's right. Yeah. It was that was fifth gum sharing.
Yeah.
And they sell audio equipment.
I love their That's why they have a big van and they're in affluent neighborhoods. They do stereo sound system installs.
That's the thing. I mean, a spin-off just would write itself. I mean, it would not take long to.
No, honestly, if they don't, I want a comic series then. Yeah. If you're not going to put money in, which is stupid if you don't put money into this. I'm telling you right now.
You put money into so much other shit. So.
Right. If you're funding other stuff and you're throwing $90 million down the toilet. We won't say who did that. We need Scott Adkins needs to carry this on. I need another franchise off of Day Shift.
Agreed. Okay, so characters. So what did you say for characters?
I gave it a 2. I couldn't ding anything on this. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all of the characters in this.
Yeah, mine was just because Scott was underused. I would just would have liked to see more of them, but 1.5. I'll stick with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Enjoyment. I'm going to go 2, actually. I enjoyed every mono. I had a blast. It doesn't reinvent the wheel, but J.J. Perry directs the shit out of it, and anytime he directs something, I'm going to be there opening night. I would say that this does feel like a movie for streaming. It doesn't feel like something you would see in the theater. Like, I'm glad it went to streaming, but it doesn't look cheap, if you know what I mean. It doesn't feel cinematic.
This was not cheap whatsoever.
No, it looks great.
I almost would have liked to have seen this in the theater, though. I feel like it still had the scale to do it.
If it was, I would have seen it for sure. I would have paid to see it. Just like Prey. I wish I'd seen Prey in the cinema.
Exactly. It's like you're putting movies in theaters that are bombing, and you're putting movies that are gonna make a ton of money on streaming. It's why Tom Cruise fought so hard to not
Yeah.
let Top Gun go
Yeah,
streaming.
he's
That
taught them
was that
all.
they
Yeah.
wanted, but that they wanted to do it streaming. I'm like, that would have been the dumbest mistake in all history, is to let that go streaming.
Oh yeah. You're right. The easy move would be for him to try and screw Jamie over, but by not doing it makes 39. Yeah, that was the thing. It was fresh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They're badasses. Now they have a code of honor, basically.
So now we like them. We want more.
They're even more likable. And yeah, this movie is. I was audibly shouting in this movie, and it's no spoiler. It's on the freaking movie poster. I have avoided the trailer for this, and I really only kind of glanced at the movie poster. But the second Snoop Dogg walks out with a fucking minigun, I lost my shit.
Oh yeah,
I was yelling, just yelling, no words, just yelling that Snoop Dogg is running around with a minigun in
smoking,
movie.
Of course. It's constantly smoking.
Dude, he opens the door for his first appearance, and it's smoke rolling out of the bottom.
I love that. Yeah.
And his nickname that a lot of people kept calling him was Jay. So I was like, I get it. Not our J man, but the other J man.
Yeah. There's only one J man.
There's only one J man. But no, I loved, and he worked. Like, if you tell me you're going to throw Snoop Dogg in a movie, normally I'd be like, okay, it's going to be a low budget.
Yeah.
Just, we got Snoop Dogg, so we get people to. No, he did fantastic in this movie. Loved him in it. I mean, I don't want anyone else in that role at all. It was awesome, man.
Yeah.
I
really enjoyed it.
Go ahead.
So I was just going to say, no, finish what you're saying, because I'm going to move on to something else in a second.
Well, all I wanted to say was, really watching this movie, it's one of the few that does give me back my action movies.
It feels old school but modern at the same time.
It did everything I wanted. It didn't force feed me anything I didn't. It does not get political. It doesn't get woke, as they say. It was just, we're going to do an awesome vampire action movie. You want to watch it? Yes, please. Yep. Do it right. And they did. And this movie gets to give me back my seal of approval on this. I loved it.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites of the year, and I think it's the best Netflix action movie I've seen for a while. I definitely prefer it to The Grey Man. You got to watch all of The Grey Man, because I'm intrigued to see what you think of it.
I plan on watching. Like I said, Jackie had started it, and I realized what she was watching, and I was like, "Are you watching Grey Man?" She goes, "Yeah." I was like, I kind of need to pay attention to this, and I didn't want to. So I was like, I'll start it later.
Yeah, and everyone I know, even my boss was like, "Oh, I loved it," and I was like, "Really, you liked it too?" And I was like, "Okay, I must be wrong. I'm never wrong, but this one time I'm wrong."
Oh, it's never wrong.
Yeah. A reason to go direct to Netflix. Woke critics, scathing reviews to shoot rings them.
Yeah, I guess we should click and let everybody read what we're reading.
Except it's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
He loved The Grey Man. Yeah, so I definitely got to say, I don't know, I just found it annoying after a while, but
my only thing with the streaming is I feel like sometimes the movies get forgotten about way too fast.
True. Like next week.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're doing that, but also I know, is it Terminal List? Is that Chris Pratt?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
The other Chris Pratt movie that I can't even remember the name of right now, with the aliens, was a fantastic Tomorrow War. Yeah, fantastic movie. Nobody talks about it at all. It's now just always on Amazon. So things just get so forgotten so easy.
Yeah. I think the one thing they should take from the pandemic with all this streaming stuff is to get back to making the lower budget movies and releasing them into theaters. Theaters are only just releasing the big blockbusters and the MCU shit, whatever else. And I was like, get back to making $40 to $50 million movies, like the John Wicks and things like that.
Yeah.
And I would like to see more like that. Like I said, I would have seen this in the cinema. I would have seen Prey.
100%. But it would fix the problem of where everyone's like, it's too expensive to go to the movies. Well, it's too expensive because what they have to pay to get the movie in for them to show. So if we go backwards on that and go, oh, these movies are more affordable, you'll get 3 movies for the cost of what one big giant budget movie would. They don't have to charge an arm and a leg to go watch these movies anymore. Balance it back out again.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, It's been happening for a while because people are like, "What is the future of like indie movies?" Because like physical media is kind of going away the dodo, unfortunately. But I still I'm buying it. I'm still buying my 4Ks and everything regularly. But
I hope this comes out on physical. I want to buy this movie on
I
physical
would too.
format.
Yeah, I want to
Absolutely.
buy. I want to get Prey on 4K as
Oh, I
well.
will. It has to go in
If
my
it comes out.
collection.
Yeah, if it does. But I definitely think it's a mistake whenever it's a movie that has like a bit of scale to not release it in the theater. Like even here's a 2-week limited theatrical run, and it's only going to be a profit, really. Particularly if you only do it for like a limited time, and then you do 2 weeks or 3 weeks theatrical, and then release it to streaming after that, and then
and what you're going to do is you're going to fix the whole dynamic even in Hollywood. Now it's like there's no extra deals because they're going to try and base it off of ticket sales or anything. Now it's called, here's how much the job pays. Here's how much it's going to be. Here's how much it's going to cost for everyone, and here's how we're going to promote it. If you put it on streaming, you don't have to worry about that much promotion because people are already on that streaming service. This a lot of times it's not about, oh, we got new subscribers because of Day Shift on Netflix. No, it's you kept me, so you get another month of the subscription from me because you gave me an awesome movie. That's what it is. It's not about new subscribers. It's about keeping me entertained.
Yeah, you got to keep us coming back.
Exactly.
Yeah, I see. I was a bit underwhelmed by Prey. Yeah, you see, I get that actually, because I mean, people are like, "Oh my god, it's better than the original," and I was like, "No, it's not. It's not even better than Predator 2."
No.
It's
no.
You'll find out where it ranks next week whenever we do our Predator ranking. I don't think it's going to be much of a surprise as to what everybody's number one is going to be. But I don't think I've ever been more excited about a stream than I am for next week's one. I think it's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it.
You guys aren't prepared. I'm just gonna say that.
Okay.
Owen's sitting there going, "Oh shit!"
As long as you're wearing pants, that's all that matters.
I have shorts on. We're good.
It's next Wednesday. Wednesday is a normal time for streams. Wednesday, 8 p.m. I haven't scheduled it yet. I'm going to schedule it over the weekend, and then I'll share it so everyone knows about it.
I got some awesome promo images for us too, so we'll have those out once it's scheduled.
I'm going to add some like video footage and stuff to it as well, because I know exactly there's just one line of dialogue I have to have at the beginning, and once I do it, you'll be like, yes, it had to be that.
I trust. I think we should bring back the clips.
I will, and just hope that we don't get cancelled for it. So
we'll be fine.
We'll see how it goes. Yeah,
we'll be fine. Don't worry about that.
But we have final grades for Day Shift. We never did the final grades.
Oh yeah, I guess I gotta add them up, don't we?
Yeah. So 8. It gets an 8 out of 10 for me. Initially it was going to be 7.5, but I changed the story to 1.5. So yeah, I took it up to an 8.
I'm a 9. I really enjoyed this movie. I gave story a 1.5 and pacing 1.5. 2s across the board everywhere else. And honestly, I'm happy with that because the movie made me happy. I mean, it's one of those rare times. It sucks to say that now. It's one of those rare times where I thoroughly just enjoyed it.
Yeah, it had only one goal to entertain, and that was it.
Did you want to see vampires die? Yes. That's what I got.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
And was it stuff I didn't really expect? Yeah, actually. You win again. A first-time director. You're winning. You're giving me what I want. I'm in.
So yeah, give us our Nazarian Brothers spin-off, definitely.
100%.
Have to see that because those characters are too good just to be in that one sequence. So yeah, that's
Scott. When you're watching this later, just tell them we support this. They'll green light it immediately.
They will, yeah, because they have to watch and actually stream it, and then movies are greenlit. That's literally the way it is.
That's how it works.
They mostly ask J-Man's permission for anything to do with Conan. Then this is it too. So
he gets Conan and Batman, so we let him have those. So
that's right. Yeah, I watched Mortal Kombat again last night and got the feel good feeling again. The newest one or the newest one?
Probably the newest one. Noah and Benny.
I like them both, but yeah, I watched the new one the second time again. I really enjoyed it. I was like, yeah, bring on that sequel. I think is it Cabal? Is that his name? He's so fucking cool. I was like, I just want to movie this guy looking cool and just.
I want Cabal, Kano, and Kung Lao in a sitcom scenario. That's what I want. I would watch that. I'd watch that every Friday Give me back TGIF. I would watch that every Friday.
I would tell you, give me back my Mortal Kombat sitcom.
That's right, man. That's it. I would give me action sitcoms. That's what we need.
That's right, man. We're an action sitcom. There
action sitcom.
Yeah.
I'm totally
down. How many spines are ripped out in this episode? We'll find out today. Man. So, yeah.
Have crossovers with all the other shows. It'll be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good. So, yeah. So next Wednesday, we're going to be talking about Predator and ranking the franchise. It's not so much, what's going to be number one. We all know it's going to be number one. But for most people, anyway, you never know.
Yeah. But we've also got Nate showing up too, so he can throw a monkey wrench in all this.
Yeah, not sure if John is joining us or not. He might be working, but we'll see.
We'll figure it out.
I know Sean is and J-Man is, so it's going to be a full squad, and I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait to hear people's thoughts on it all. This is the one I'm most excited about. And then the week after, and then I'm going to have a break. It depends when my surgery is. Hopefully, it has been requested that we do the Conan franchise. So basically, nobody shows up except J-Man, and he can just talk to the camera for 3 hours. And that'll be it, basically. So,
we have told J-Man he has to wear a shirt, though. That we did make that rule.
Yeah, that's pants, not necessarily, but a shirt.
Yeah, you don't wear pants. You can wear a loincloth. Loincloth and shirt. That's what's required.
That's fine. Yeah. So, but yeah, people were like, they're loving that they're covering the Arnie movies. So I thought, okay, well then we'll just keep covering the Arnie movies. And I haven't watched.
Love that.
I haven't watched the Conan movies for a few years, so I'm going to watch them all. We'll watch the remake as well with Jason Momoa, and we'll talk about that too.
It's fun. There's nothing wrong
exactly.
with it.
I don't hate it. So
swords, people dying. What's not to like?
In fact, I'm just we'll wind J-Man up about that, I think.
Yeah, he's not on right now, but he might watch this later. So
exactly. Yeah. What if you come out looking like Nicolas Cage? Well, that's the dream. I hope so. But what if they take my face off? Which would be nice. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Yeah.
I still vote for the eye patch. Well,
I am going to have one. Maybe I should do a stream that day anyway, and we'll just talk Snake Plissken or something. And then
we'll find do Escape from LA. We'll just do that one. That's what we do.
Top 5 eye patches of movies or something. I guess
that would be a good one. There's a lot of bad guys with eye patches.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I mean, and then you got the guy from Airwolf as well with the eye patch.
Airwolf, that'd be awesome. Heck yeah, man.
That actually sounds fun. All right, so kids, we will see you all next week for our Predator ranking. So I'll set that up for the weekend, and I'll send everyone the invites and everything.
Yep.
Really looking forward to that. I think that's going to be awesome.
You don't want to miss it. It's going to be fun.
No, absolutely not. I think it's going to be awesome. Oh, hold on before I go to this comment.
Nick Fury.
Yes, Nick Fury.
David Hasselhoff, Nick Fury, though. That's what it has to be.
Yeah. That would be awesome. Yeah, so remember, subscribe to Charlie, subscribe to J-Man, subscribe to everybody in the entire world. And subscribe to the Actually, obviously.
It's free.
Yeah.
Why not? It's free. Just do it.
All we take is your soul. And
you don't need that anymore.
Oh, exactly. And remember, if you're watching, you are the Action Elite, and we'll see you next time.